Finally, my long process for applying for my dad's VA aid and attendance program has come to an end. In this video, I'm going to share with you my experience with the process, what my frustrations were, and a few tips to help make the process a little easier for you. And I'm going to share with you what the final award letter said. Hi there, I'm Sophia, and I'm bringing you videos every Tuesday to help you be a more successful, more satisfied, and more informed family caregiver. So last year, my dad, who's 92, was really happy living in his assisted living, independent, and really didn't need any services. That is until he started getting compression fractures in his spine. 5 of them to be exact, the poor guy. They pretty immediately made him completely debilitated, and he required assistance with everything around the clock. Suddenly, the care that he needed cost more than double what his income was. Luckily, we have a big family, and my brothers and sisters and I were able to pitch in to help with the cost of his care. But we didn't want to do that forever if we didn't have to. My dad is a very proud World War II veteran, so I got to researching the VA's Aid and Attendant program. This is a program for qualified veterans who need help with activities of daily living. I can do a whole separate video about that program, what the criteria is, and how to apply for it if you'd like, so leave me a comment below. Now, I'd always heard that this program was really hard to apply for, and I actually heard somewhere that only about 25% of qualified veterans are receiving the benefit. And the benefit is a monetary amount that is given to you every month that can help pay for care or an assisted living. And because it is so hard to apply for, there are agencies out there that will help you with the process. So I went to the agency in my area, the VA Service Center, to get some help with the process. Well, the one in my area, they were booked for 4 months, and they weren't even taking any new appointments. They said that I could show up on any day at 8 o'clock in the morning and sit and wait and hope that someone else didn't show up. But, you know, I have a life like you. I work full time, and so that just didn't seem like a viable option for me, especially since I had to take my dad with me. So I decided to try this process on my own. So I went to the VA website and started doing my research. Let me go ahead and show you that website now. Okay, so this is how I applied for my dad's VA Aid and Attendant program. I went ahead and started my research at the new VA.gov website. And on here, if you click under VA Benefits and Healthcare and scroll down to Pension, this area talks all about the different pension programs available through the VA. So click on Aid and Attendance Benefits and Household Allowance. And this is going to give you extremely brief information about what the program is, what is the eligibility, how you get the benefit, and how to apply. Really, there is tons of more information about the fine detail of how do you qualify, who is eligible, and how to apply. So this is extremely brief information. Like I said, if I can make another video about that more in depth, if you'd like, leave me a comment below. But from this site, the thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the fact that you can apply right online. And this is what I did. So scroll up here on the left to apply now. And you can go ahead here and start your online application. You will have to create a sign-in ID that is linked to your va.gov application. So I went ahead and did that. It's pretty easy. And from this location, you can go ahead and fill out paperwork and as well as submit documents for your application. Some of the info that I needed to have ready ahead of time was all information about his bank accounts, his assets, his dates of service, a form filled out by the doctor regarding his physical condition. And the hardest part was getting information that pertained to his marriages. My dad has been married 3 times, and they wanted to know the dates and locations of his marriages, the names, as well as the locations of any divorces. Well, unfortunately, there's one wife in there that I've never even met. I didn't have her information, and my dad certainly didn't remember. So I had to go online and do a lot of research to find out the dates that were required, but I was able to do it. So I ended up submitting my original application on October 29th, 2018. In about 10 days, I got a letter saying that they received my information, but not to hold my breath because their process was going to take a long time. And man, they were not kidding. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited. It took about 5.5 months to hear anything at all, and the news was not good. They had a lot more questions for me. They also wanted more updated bank statement information, more questions about assets and dependents and asset transfers. And one more thing, and this really got me frustrated, was the form that the doctor had filled out in October, nearly 6 months before, called the Examination for Permanent Need for Regular Aid and Attendance. It was the wrong version of the form. They did send me the new version, but when you look at it, it was the exact same form, the exact same questions. It was just set up to look a little bit nicer, and it had a different version date on the bottom left-hand corner. The date that I had used on my form was June 2008, which I found online. The correct version is the one dated September 2018, so make sure that you use the correct one. So the VA letter said to get all the requested information in as soon as possible, but they didn't give me a due date. So I had to go back to the doctor and have the form filled out again. But of course, the doctor was booked and he couldn't see me for 5 or 6 weeks because it wasn't considered urgent. So finally, I had all the newly requested documents ready and the doctor filled out the new form. And just as I was getting it together to send in again, I received a letter from the VA saying, "Your application has been denied." What? Apparently, I took too long to submit the requested documents, even though they didn't give me a due date. But in the same envelope as the denial letter, they did send a life preserver, and that was a form called the Decision Review Request, which is essentially a form to request that they look again at the information and the evidence that I submitted. So I filled out yet another form and sent it all in with all the evidence, and including that pretty new form filled out by the doctor. I mailed it all in certified mail on June 3rd. So it's now been more than 7 months from my original application date. Then I waited, and then I waited some more. About a month later, I was on my dad's online banking account, and holy I saw a huge account balance. Our mail goes to a P.O. box, and I hadn't checked it for a few days, so I was totally taken off guard. The VA had deposited retro payments for November 2018, $1,830. For December 2018 through June 2019, $11,286. And a new payment for July 2019, $1,881, which will be his ongoing monthly payment. That's a total of nearly $15,000 in a lump sum payment that was in his checking account. I could not believe it. Oh my God, I was so happy. I haven't been that happy in a super long time. All in all, it took just over 8 months from the time of my original application. Was it super hard and stressful? Definitely. Was it worth it? Well, absolutely. Now my siblings and I don't have to contribute to my dad's care, and along with his Social Security, that money is going to pay for his care for about the next 1.5 years. And I can't be more thrilled. If you have any questions about my 8-month VA saga, then I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If your family member doesn't qualify for the VA's Aid and Attendant program, then I suggest you watch this video here on top for other ideas on how to pay for long-term senior care. If this video was helpful, then please go ahead and hit the like button. And if you don't want to miss any new videos on everything senior, then please go ahead and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.